Hello, beautiful people. It is saying that I am live at this time. So let me check to see if there are any folks here right now. And I can't see, but if there's anyone here, and if there's not anyone here, I trust that my sound is working effectively as I did test it before I got started. Awesome. So for those of you joining, and then also for those of you watching the replay, this is the live YouTube Hangout for the cross-quarter day referred to as Lammas, or also known as Lunasa. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to also pull some cards and do a reading for the collective. Interestingly enough, divine timing, there is a full moon, a super full moon in Aquarius that is going to peak on August 1st at 2:31 p.m. Eastern time. I believe I'm right about that as far as the exact time, but definitely August 1st afternoon. And yeah, I can already feel the energy of this full moon coming forth. And I'm like looking at what is going on. Oh, maybe that's a little pimple. Okay, well, here we are. I'm like getting distracted by markings on my face that just are looking kind of weird. So if you are here live, feel free to ask me any questions. I am open to answering anything about astrology, tarot, astronomy, spiritual practices, ritual, anything that you want to ask, anything regarding, what I've been talking about, which the topic lately has been on the conscious mind and unconscious mind, or really just the whole concept of consciousness and our ongoing attempts to understand what is consciousness. And so I've been talking about it a lot. It is definitely very relevant to the lunar cycle that we're in of Cancer. So the most recent new moon was in Cancer, and so therefore it initiated the Cancer lunar cycle. And what I was talking about with this particular cycle is the ability to essentially heal ourselves, and also to just live a better life and manifest our desires, live with purpose, and just connecting more deeply to our own sense of divine intelligence. And with this Cancer support or guidance, it is definitely pointing to the ability of utilizing our dreams, decoding our dreams, and paying attention to what occurs within our dreams, as well as our intuition. Utilizing our intuition and our dreams will help us to, as we get into the flow of deciphering and decoding the dreams, it will definitely help us to learn more of what is intuition and what is ego, right? And so that brings in the element of Leo season, right? And this focus with Venus retrograde in Leo, which is essentially the main supreme energy of Leo season. This is Leo season, is Venus retrograde in Leo. And that theme there, the focus is healing our ego consciousness. And the way we are being guided to do this is by making the unconscious conscious, which, if you haven't already seen, I have uploaded a special cosmic climate speaking to or sharing my interpretation and insights regarding Venus retrograde in Leo and how to best work with that energy. I also share some questions, some journal prompts, and I posted on my blog the questions and the highlights of what was discussed in that video, that cosmic climate. So if you want to just have that in front of you in words to keep it short and straight to the point, that is available for you. And I'll actually leave the description, or the link of that blog post and journal prompts in the description of this video. So I am going to ground myself in and light some sage, and then we're going to get talking about things. And hopefully some folks will join me here in the chat and, ask some questions. I'm also willing to pull cards for anyone that is present here in the live. So that's kind of a bonus of being here live. Thank you everyone for your support. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already and you enjoy my content. I definitely enjoy your comments as well when it comes to what's coming up for you, how these energies are, resonating for you in your life. So I really enjoy that. Thank you so much. The smell of sage is it's like no other. And it's really windy outside. And I love how, if you can see in the window behind me, the shadows on the window are being created from the leaves, the branches of the trees moving through the wind. So I'm really grounding myself in here. This feels really, really good. All right. So this is a really interesting cross-quarter day. It's not one of the popular ones, such as Beltane or Samhain, aka Halloween. It's not, I feel, mainly, just in my own experience, I don't really observe llamas. And there's not really a reason why. It's just not one of those ones that pulls me in a sense. And so, usually the past few times I've been doing these live hangouts, there have been people live in the chat, and we've been just conversing and really checking in and feeling into the energy. So I think that, everything, in my opinion, happens for a reason, or I'm always paying attention to the flow of energy. So I think it's really interesting that this is a quiet live, and there's a chance that I'm sitting here, communing with myself and the divine. And, those of you that watch the replay, you'll see this, but it's just really, really interesting that it's all kind of sinking in, or things are aligning in such a way, in the energy of what this day even represents, symbolizes. So with llamas, and really with the energy right now, it is not a full moon yet, but as they say, if you practice any type of ritual work, especially if you are a practitioner of what you could say a witchcraft, or consider yourself to be a witch, we all know that the potency of the moon, the full moon specifically, is very powerful the day before, the day of, and the day after, right? So there's that number and experience of 3. And with the moon currently in Capricorn, so the moon is in Capricorn until later tonight. The moon is not really happy in Capricorn. The moon is considered to be in exile, right? When it's in Capricorn. So if you take into account the fact that the moon is at home in Cancer, Capricorn is the opposite sign of Cancer. Therefore, if the moon in Cancer is its cozy place, its security, its comfort, it has everything it needs. Essentially, when it's furthest away from home, right, it is in foreign territory, and it doesn't really have, or at least it doesn't feel that it has the support and resources that is necessary to sustain, in the case of Cancer and the moon, to sustain emotional security of resources, of manifestation and embodiment, and of, in a sense, even self-reliance, right? It's like, oh my goodness, I don't feel secure within myself and reliant within myself if I'm distant from my resources, or if I'm in unknown territory. And so the way this has already been showcasing itself in my experience and communing with others, just as even the past 2 days, right, yesterday and into today, is there's been this vibration of lack, or scarcity mentality, right? And the fear of that, right? And Capricorn is heavy with that. Capricorn likes to know what to expect, with the earth signs in general, with Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Capricorn likes things to be done well. It wants mastery. It wants to know what to expect. And it, in a sense, it has high expectations. Any of you with a lot of Capricorn placements, such as myself, you get what I'm saying here. There is a lot of there's an emphasis on the mastery and perfectionism and things being done well. Like, it's like, go big or go home. Either we're doing it, there's no trying. There's like, we're doing it or we're not doing it. That's Capricorn energy. So I definitely feel a lot of the potency of the full moon within this Capricorn energy. And the moon is in its waxing gibbous, right? So it's getting fuller and fuller until we reach the peak. And then it begins to, still we're sitting in that moment of peak, but then the slow release comes through as we make it onto the other side of the lunar cycle, post the full moon. So we're getting a lot of the super full moon charged energy within in Capricorn. And so this is also the moon approaching Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. So that is going to really hit some sensitive areas and pain points for us within the Capricorn aspects of ourselves. And Pluto is at 28 degrees. Pluto's retrograde at 28 degrees of Capricorn. So if you have anything in the later degrees of Capricorn, or even Cancer, Aries, and Libra, you might be feeling a little bit of sensitivity right now within whatever's coming up for you. And so with this, and, I haven't even done the cosmic climate yet. I've been taking, here's a Capricorn move, moment by moment, step by step. Let's not rush it, because if we rush, we make mistakes. So with that said, I haven't done the cosmic climate, which I'm actually going to do after this. But I'm going to talk more about the full moon. So I'm not even going to go too deep into it unless it's relevant to the cards that I pull for the collective and with Lammas, right? But I will say that the moon being in Aquarius, and the moon will move into Aquarius later tonight, it is really supportive to the Cancer lunar cycle in the sense of dreams and opening ourselves up to psychic insight and really connecting with our intuition, because I see Aquarius, and I always have seen Aquarius as a divine channel. Aquarius is the medium or the channel of the zodiac, in which it is connected to the cosmic consciousness or the universal consciousness in a sense. And also it is connected to the collective consciousness. So it's the middle, it's the water bearer, right? So that water essentially is the wisdom, the gnosis, the records, the healing, whatever's necessary, things held within time, right? And we also can look at Saturn as it's the guide, the planetary ruler of Aquarius. And with that said, there is, yes, that, just losing my train of thought. Yeah, it's has access to wisdom, to records, to things happening over time. And in the case of Aquarius, it is definitely more aligned and experienced with the records, the insights, the wisdom of the future, right? So Aquarius is the visionary. Aquarius has very profound foresight. And with the full moon and it being a super moon, so super moons don't necessarily appear to be bigger, but they do appear brighter in the sky. And so there is more illumination. You can look at this symbolically in this way. And so that is what I'm really picking up for this full moon, super full moon in Aquarius. And of course, I will talk more in depth about that in the cosmic climate that is soon to come. All right, so let's talk about Lammas. So if you are just popping in, please ask me any questions or shoot some comments over in the chat. And I'll be happy to answer them. So Lammas, and also I will share, I am due for, I owe you guys the astronomy and ritual of Lammas, AKA Luna Sa. And that will be up very soon, sometime this week. And so Lammas is traditionally observed July 31st sundown to August 1st sundown. That is the traditional timing within ancient times, within Ireland and, in the British Isles. Am I saying that right? in those periods where, we were fully in the pagan tradition, or you could say not necessarily even pagan, but just like folk tradition, like that old timey type of experience where we're really connecting with the land and the rituals, and you get what I'm saying. That was observed then between July 31st sundown to August 1st sundown. However, when it comes to the astronomy and the halfway point between the June solstice and the September equinox, which that is Lammas, that is the observance of Lammas, is the cross quarter point, the in between of June solstice and September equinox. As far as the astronomy is considered, it is actually around between August 5th and August 7th or 8th, right? And when I checked the solar events calculator, which is an amazing website, and I linked to it in the astronomy ritual videos, you can get it down to the hour and minute of your exact location. It's amazing. And they have years in advance that you can look at. And there's other stuff too there on that website, but it's all the sun, earth, and I feel like there's some moon calculations too there. But anyways, so according to the solar events calculator, the exact moment of the cross quarter point is actually August 7th, right? And it's at 2:24 p.m. Eastern time. Ring getting caught in my earring, if that's relevant to you and your rituals, okay? And so I love that when I was taking my notes, because I didn't really even start taking notes until yesterday or the day before. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's crunch time. I got to get this out, in observance for this day. And I saw that and I was like, oh my goodness, that gives me the whole week to take my time and, really be present and not rush through anything. Here again comes the Capricorn energy, which I have a stellium in Capricorn. So I'm very Capricorn in nature. So this was perfect for me, right? So traditionally, Lammas is observed sundown July 31st to sundown August 1st. Astronomically, that cross quarter point is around, or in this case, the year 2023 is August 7th. And astrologically, it is essentially roughly 15 degrees, or it honors the 15-degree point of Leo, right? And so the 15-degree point of Leo and this cross quarter day honors the peak of summer, right? So this is the peak of summer. And at the same time, this is the invitation to the September equinox and that season that's coming forth. So if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, that's going to be the season of autumn. If you are in the Southern Hemisphere, lucky you, that's the season of equinox. Because I'm sure everyone, by the time we're coming up on the equinoxes, you're like, I got to get out of winter. Like, this is annoying. It's a lot. So that is the energy that we are stepping into, or that is where we are, right, during this Lammas celebration. And I'll keep it really brief, right? Because again, I'm going to share all of this in a video dedicated to Lammas. However, what I'll share here is that Lammas essentially is the first harvest of 3, right? So this is a harvest celebration. That first harvest is during this time. And then we also have it, the second harvest is the autumnal equinox, and this is specific to the Northern Hemisphere. So you would flip this if you were in the Southern Hemisphere. So it would be Beltane, I believe, would be like the counterpart to this for Southern Hemisphere folks. And so then the third harvest is Samhain, aka Halloween. Okay, so the themes for Lammas is harvest, of course. And what I really enjoy is the offering to gods, the concept or experience of sacrifice, right? And so it's the give, right? The giving, right? The offering, the giving of what is coming into harvest. Acts of service is another correspondence and theme of Lammas. And most importantly, it is or maybe that's not most importantly, I think active service is like what it needs to be, right? But what I really enjoy is the guidance to really be present with the excitement and the joy of what's to come, right? Because I know a lot of you that I communicate with on a frequent basis have been doing the work, have been tuning into cosmic climates. It's been resonating, and it's what is to come. Like, like things are starting to already come to fruition. There's manifestations happening all around you. And that there's even more coming forth, right? So what's to come is super, super exciting and important. And that's the energy that we're tapping into or being guided to tap into for Lammas, right? And there's that element of, or that brings forth inspiration to keep going, right? And so this is really interesting. And it dawned on me via a conversation I had this morning, right? I've been asked by a client recently about the Lionsgate portal. And that is a controversial topic for astrologers. I mean, definitely astronomers, right? It's more of a spiritually observed, you can even say new age, a new age holiday or observance or whatever, right? So the Lionsgate, I'm not even going to get into from my experience, because I've been open to it since 2017, 2018. And I think that's when I first really learned about it from a spiritual teacher that I had at the time. And I know there's some element of the Lyrian feline galactic grace in this portal opening up of these divine beings. And it really feels, in my conversation was brought to my attention, it was like, oh, it's almost like this new God is information, or some new energy is coming through. And it really just amplifies and holds space to the power of the lion, to the power of Leo qualities and attributes of strength, of fortitude, of courage, of resilience, and graceful power, right? That energy. And I really feel that strongly with Venus retrograde in Leo. And so also what I've connected with the Lionsgate is I've seen some folks connecting it to the return of the flooding of the Nile River. And that actually, from my understanding, happens a little bit later, right? And the rising of Sirius, right? The Sirius star coming out of the heliacal rise of Sirius. And this is all an observation. I am not closing myself down to anything. I am in observation mode. And what came forth today, right? Didn't I just share that Lammas, the cross-quarter day, is observed? And most importantly, astronomically, the cross-quarter day, the in-between of June solstice and September equinox, is this year, August 7th, right? So it's around the date of August 8th, right? So there's something there, right? And I'll leave that there for you to ponder on a bit. But that is what that was just like an aha moment for me today. I was like, oh, maybe there's something there to the Lion's Gate. And with it on August 8th, there is that theme of abundance, of infinite energy. So that infinity aspect, right? And that is a quality of Lammas, is abundance, is appreciation, gratitude for what's here now and what's to come, right? And so that what's here now, what's to come, and the vibration of appreciation is the essence of infinity, knowing that there is infinite abundance, infinite possibilities. And so being in the appreciation and the awareness of this infinity energy is what is being celebrated for this, cross-quarter day. All right, so I'm going to pull some cards, and I'm going to start with my astrology oracle card. So this is a reading for the collective, for Lammas. And I'm going to try to keep it pretty short because I am here talking to myself, and I'm going to talk to myself in the cosmic climate next. So unless someone's here and would like me to pull cards for them personally. Okay, so these never shuffle in the bridge way. All right, so Divine, first I'm gonna light some sweetgrass. Speaking of positive vibes, gratitude, appreciation for what's to come, what's here now and what's to come, taking those leaps of faith. Beautiful, beautiful energy. I love whenever I light sweetgrass, it's like it gives me the burning bush. Hold on, let me do the infinity. I love burning incense and doing the smoke with the infinity. But whenever I light sweetgrass, it gives me this vibe of like the burning bush from the Bible. And I grew up watching that old movie. I think it's from the late 1950s of the Ten Commandments. And yeah, it was, I remember the burning bush, and I mean, what is it? The special effects or whatever, it was terrible, but I always think of the burning bush. Oh my gosh, sweetgrass smells so beautiful and uplifting. And this is one thing I'll say when I'm blessing my home or when you're trying to get rid of spirits and everyone's like, use sage. Sage, actually, I feel that heavy energies and entities actually like sage, like they're attracted to it, which is actually good, right? In the sense of if there's a spirit in your home and you're trying to get them to, or you're trying to remove them, lighting sage will actually attract them out of their hiding, right? If they're like just, chilling somewhere and you want to like bring them present, especially at night, turning off the lights, lighting some candles and some sage will definitely bring them out of the woodwork, right? And then once I go through my whole ritual, I will then, once I do, because I'll do the whole, if I'm like cleansing my home, let's say mostly is what I'm using, I'll do the sage, the salt, the holy water. Then I will close the space with sweetgrass. And that's just like so uplifting, sweetgrass or cinnamon. So beautiful. Orange blossom essential oil is amazing. I love just anything sweet, I feel is a good way to really cleanse the home in the sense of once you do the cleanse, the heavy stuff, then bringing forth the really good vibrations and lifting up the space is really good with sweetgrass. So just a fun little tip. Oh, hello, Lynn. Thank you for saying hi. Nice. Sweetgrass is amazing. And it doesn't stay lit very long, so that could be a pro or a con depending on what your intentions with it is, but it's a beautiful, beautiful plant to burn. Okay, so I'm going to pull cards and see what the collective message is for today and for really this week. Let's see. Divine. Thank you. Here we go. Ooh. We got an eclipse card. That's interesting. All right, so is there one more message? Thank you. Okay, cool. So we got some moon energy here. Nice. Okay, so we have in this first oracle, this is a solar eclipse. So this is eclipse with the new moon. And I believe the new moon solar eclipse is going to be, the next one is going to be Libra. And you know what? I'm just going to check because this will definitely have a great influence over the reading. Let's see. And that will be pointing us to the September equinox. So let's see, eclipse. Where are you? Do we have an eclipse? Thanks for your patience. All right. So solar eclipse is on October 14th. So yeah, that's got to be in Libra. Let's see, October 14th. Let me just double check. Yep. All right, well, here we go. All right, so we already got some timing elements here with the new moon solar eclipse. So that is already directing our focus. That is giving us some foresight of what's to come, right? So we're in the halfway point between June solstice, September equinox, And this is actually a little bit even further than, Libra season, in the sense of, I mean, this is going to be Libra season at the end of it, but this is pointing us to the solar eclipse, which is going to be in Libra on October 14th. All right. So already tapping into the visionary qualities of Aquarius. So then here we have the waxing crescent moon phase. And then we have the 8th house. So this is so very, I love this energy because it's so very relevant to the present moment, and then also relevant to what we'll soon get insight to the future, right? Whatever's going on during this Libra eclipse, and possibly what is in between, right? And I think with the the waning crescent, can be giving us an idea, or just the insight of what we might need to let go of, right, in between. And I did speak of offering and sacrifice. Okay. It could be very dangerous with my cat jumping on my lap because she does not really understand how to retract her claws properly for some reason. And so she will tend to dig her talons into my leg, but she did a really good job. Thank you. Perfect timing. All right. So, so let's see what's to come. But, with the 8th house is one of the houses that I struggle with as an astrologer to really give some definition to, because everything that I point to it, like the standard definitions of the 8th house, feel very surface level for me, which makes sense because what I really connect to the 8th house, or what really resonates with me as an 8th house area of life or topic, is essentially the psyche, right? The psychology of one's mind, the consciousness, right? And so you can even point to the 4th, the 8th, and the 12th house, all have some dealings with the conscious, or with some element of consciousness. With the 4th house, I feel there's an element more of the subconscious, like we know, but we don't know. It's like things just barely happening underneath the surface. The 8th house, you can argue the same for that too, but I feel what I'm starting to learn is more so of the conscious mind, is more present there in our own psychology within that space. And then the 12th house is more the unconscious mind. Like I definitely feel very strong that 12th house is like shit that's just running, that we don't know, right? Running programs and whatnot. So the 8th house feels like psychology, conscious mind. Also, it can be considered to be a place of transformation, right? Because if there is some illumination to that point of consciousness, then when we really are in the space of like, oh, this is what's happening, and we're present within the conscious moment and mind, if that makes sense, then that level of awareness will bring forth transformation. Also, with the 8th house, transformation can also translate into death, right? And it could be not necessarily literally, but metaphorically, right? That whole experience of the death. And really death of the ego is what I'm feeling right now, but we'll see. Let me just pull some more cards to see what other messages are going to come forth here. Naturally, Kitty is in the way. All right, so Divine, what messages do you have for us at this time? What do we need to know? All right, sweetie, just be on my lap, please. I need a counter. Okay. What messages? Oops. Do we need to know at this time? Please and thank you. All right, cat hair all over my face. Speaking of Lionsgate, showed up. Okay, there's 1, 2. Is there another one for us? Thank you, 3. I like my messages in 3s. So you can get a real good idea of what is really being communicated with 3 cards. Okay, nice. Speaking of 3, talk about lack and scarcity mindset. That is something that's coming forth. Okay, so what we have here, this is definitely bringing us to Aquarius energy and the full moon, super moon in Aquarius, right? Again, so that is that divine channel between the cosmic energy and the collective. And the other card received is the 5 of Pentacles. And this is exactly why I just said lack, scarcity mentality. And this particular card and energy has a lot to do with perception and perspective, right? So one woman's head, or one person, I think this is, an older lady's woman head is down, and this person here, his head is up. And this is obviously a church, right? That's the standard, interpretation of this is a church, right? With a stained glass window. There's even coins on the window. And so even entertaining the perspective of like, well, there's no door. So it's like salvation is here, but how do we access it? Is there really a way to even access it? It makes me think of the present time where there's so much abundance around us, but how do we access it? It feels that it's being like, it's teased, it's taunting us, right? In which, some people have more control over the resources than, the people that actually, that need it, right? And we can all live abundantly together. So that's that one perspective. The other perspective is that the salvation is right in front of you, but you're too busy looking down or looking up, that you're not looking straight on to really see that, hello, it's right here for you, right? Like literally, can you just take the coin off the window? Or what? There's so many ways to look at this card, and I've developed a really good relationship with it. And then on the flip side, the other card here is we have 3 of Pentacles, which 3 of Pentacles is more so speaking to coming together. And this is definitely Capricorn. I want to say this is Mars Capricorn, but for sure it's Capricorn association with this card. This one in particular is Aquarius. Oh no, I'm sorry, not Aquarius, Taurus. Okay. And so with this energy, this is coming together with a plan. As you can see, these 2 people have a blueprint. They have, or some sort of, plan, plan, agreement, what have you. And they are presenting it to an official, right? So they've come together. And when we think about that vibration of 3, that is creative in nature. So what I'm already getting here is the guidance, the pointing to the way in which to come or to move out of that scarcity mindset of the 5 of Pentacles. The way to do that is opening yourself up to this divine channel, to the energies around you that will allow you to come into to create, essentially, right? To really consolidate, create, and essentially make a plan, right? And to present that plan. And so if you are someone that has some things like, what do they call it? I can't even think of the name or the saying, like pokers you have too many pokers in the fire, right? Or you have too many things going on, or just things sitting in drafts and things that you need to submit or whatever. This is pointing to cleaning that up, consolidating, and really submitting something that's necessary, or really doing something that it will get you closer to what it is that you desire, or the abundance, or even stepping out of this lack mentality. And so I really want to get an understanding here of the timing, because I'm looking back at the oracles. The 8th house makes sense because we are dealing with the conscious mind and what that represents, and even our psychology. So it's bringing us to our belief systems and paying attention also to what is being said, what is being communicated, how we're using our words in regard to the nature of our resources. So I'm going to pull some more cards from a different deck just to get a little bit more clarity. Hi, Theo. I am happy that you're here also. So I'm just doing a collective reading here, and also interrupted by the little. And so let's see. What's she trying to get? whoops. That's gonna happen. Okay, so a lot going on. Yes. All right, so let me, yeah, she's fine. All right, what additional messages, just more clarity on what we have here. Okay, we got one card. I'm gonna take it one at a time here with this. Okay, wow, 3 of Cups. So another card of 3. And I really like that the cups are on top of each other, because this just reminded me of like I said, I'm just going to take this one card at a time with this one, like step by step. You got to wait until I'm done. Okay. And so I like that even if you look at this lotus flower in the background, it's the stem, right? Then we get the 2 buds, and then we get the blooming flower. And so this brings me back to what I spoke before about even this time of year of Lammas, the cross quarter halfway point between June solstice and September equinox. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, this is a focus on being an appreciation for what has already manifested and what's to come. So you know that something good is coming. So that is the energy, the feeling that you want to tap into. And so even if you are feeling this energy, like there's not enough time, there's not enough money, there's not enough food or what have you, know that it's coming, right? And this is the energy that it's coming, like things are moving forward, and we are open to this divine energy. This is the key, right? Is that connecting to the divine. And also what I really enjoy with this card too is that she's got one leg on earth and then one in the water. And so again, this water more so represents the eternal knowing, the God energy, source energy, and that divine wisdom, right? And so connecting that with the earth energy and the experience here in this physical realm. Mary's here, finally. Thank you. Mary says, Father, Son, Holy Spirit is in my 3, divine, divine, divine. Yes, right? The Trinity. Yeah. So we already have 33 here in the cards. So very powerful. So I'm going to see what else comes through. But I still want 3 cards, but I'll take it moment to moment. All right. So divine, what else do we need to know about this energy? Patience. Yes. Mary, are you apologizing? You need to stop. I figured you were busy or, so no worries. Okay. What additional messages? What additional messages do we have here? Okay, there we go. One at a time. Okay, we have the Lovers card. And what I'm really getting at this is a decision, right? But actually, so the Lovers traditionally, I mean, yes, you can equate it to lovers, but most importantly, it is decision making, right? It's ruled by Gemini. And so what I like with this card is that actually this decision has already been made by or for you. Excuse me, no, you got to wait. Why don't you go outside and paint or something? So the decision has already been made, and like I'm feeling that divine has made the decision for you, right? Like there's a clear pointing to, clear illumination. And also what I like with this is that we have the moon, and we have what appears to be like similar to the Taurus symbol. So I'm thinking that if you don't receive the clarity this week with the full moon, you will definitely receive it by next week, which you'll have the moon will be in Taurus it could be by the end of the week. I don't know. I don't remember offhand, but I know definitely next week the moon is going to be in Taurus, right? So, and the moon in Taurus it's exalted, right? And when the moon finally reaches Taurus, so yeah, it's going to be next week. It will square, right? It will be in conflict with the full moon energy that was brought forth. And so that already really speaks clearly. And yeah, that'll be really potent. So when it comes to a decision being made, maybe, we're being guided to sit with what comes forth. And then if we have to act on something or make a decision about something, that is going to be the time to that's when we'll know. So if you don't know this week, you'll definitely know by next week. Mary says the arrow is targeted to gift me. Yes, a lot of support. Absolutely. Right. It's like this one. And I do like that the beetles here, the scarab beetles there, which is also, to me, it points to what first came to mind is wisdom. But when I think about scarabs, they are also associated with the cycle of death and rebirth. And what I feel, especially with the oracle of this week, just the oracle is completion. It definitely feels like this scarab is oh, there's some wise wisdom, right? There's something coming forth that is really deep. It's bringing something really deep that is going to guide you to your next move, right? And stepping out of the scarcity. So, Mary, I don't know if you saw the 3 cards, but this was one of the cards, which is literally scarcity coming forth. And then the 3 of Pentacles was making essentially a plan of action or consolidating, coming up with a budget and agreement as they're presenting, something to an official, right, to look at, right? And 3 is that number of creativity too. So I'm showing you this because we were literally just having a conversation about this earlier. All right, so let's see. Do we have one more card here from this deck? Just a little bit more insight. Thank you. Wow. Wow, you really can't make this up. Okay, so the Ace of Pentacles, right? So the ace is the new beginning. The ace essentially corresponds to all of the earth energies in one, coming into oneness before they separate. So that's going to be Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn all together in this one energy. So you can think of even those qualities of self-reliance, of worthiness, of values, and knowing what's important. Then with Virgo, there's the ability to look at what is happening, look at your environment internally and externally, and knowing what you need to release. So that's bringing us to this waning crescent phase, right, of release. And then when it comes to Capricorn brings us forth the discipline, the devotion to stay true to our plan, stay true to our truth and our intentions and our desires. So all of those energies encompass this one card here, which is the Ace of Pentacles, that with these arms just really look like they're raining down on us, right? The one pentacle has all of these possibilities, all of these opportunities and such. I just want to see if there's anything else standing out. I think I pulled that one, LOL. Okay. So I'm going to get some final messages just to tie everything up. And I'm going to bring it back to the initial oracle. Yeah, and just tie everything up here. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And for those of you that happen to watch the replay, I really appreciate your support. And I'm wishing you all the best for this week and forever. And look what's at the bottom here. Moment to moment. And then the creator. You really cannot make this up. This is the beauty of communing with the divine and having these, the cards are just a medium. We already know this, and the cards just bring it out so we can see it outside of ourselves and be like, oh shit. Okay. Right. Yes, I know. I need to take care of this. I need to do this. And I need to let go and be at peace and be in the moment. Know that I'm good. I'm always good. That is key. Okay. So let's get some final messages here. Please and thank you. Okay. This card wants to come out and it's been haunting me. It literally was sticking out. So you'll all be happy about this card. It's a really good one. But let's see what else. So that's one. What? Oh, you got your bathing suit on. Fun. Okay. One more. Oh my gosh, some amazing, amazing cards coming forth. All right. Final mess. We're gonna not count those because one card, please. That was two. So one more card. Oh, Susanna, welcome. Okay, so that's the last card. All right. So the card that's been haunting me in this deck, which is not a bad card to have, is abundance. It's interesting because sometimes it falls out or sometimes I'll shuffle and it'll just turn itself out of the deck like that. And it's like, pick me, pick me. And that was the situation today. I'm like, I'm going to pick you. And I saw as I was picking it, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So abundance. This is what is truth. This is love. This is what's really here, not this, right? This is the psychology that we're being guided to break out of. And this is truth. And this is here for us, right? And this also resonates with the vibration of llamas. So, I know a lot of you or some, I know you all are showing up here just now. And llamas, as I was saying, and I'm going to do an astronomy ritual video on this week. But the main theme of llamas is harvest. It's the first harvest celebration. If you're here in the Northern Hemisphere, it's the first harvest celebration of 3. The next one will be the September equinox September equinox, which is autumn here in the Northern Hemisphere. And then Halloween, aka Samhain, is the third and final harvest celebration. And so this is with llamas, this is the coming of our manifestations. This is the observance of appreciation for what's already here and what's to come. There's an element of offering to the gods, to sacrifice, which kind of ties into the offerings, and acts of service is really, really important. And so this points to the fact that there is abundance all around us, even if it's not here quite yet, if it's not in its full manifestation, this is reminding you that it's coming. So then the next card is existence. I love this card. When I bought this deck, this was the second deck I ever owned, which now has to be almost 20 years old. This is the magician in this deck. And what I love about this is it's a naked woman on a leaf, a plant in the middle of the sky, in the middle of the cosmos. And it's so beautiful. I resonated to this before. Well, obviously I was into all of this when I got the deck, but not to the capacity of the way I am now. And this is just a special card for me. And this is reminding us to really honor the present life. As Mary says, it's a beautiful fucking life. Like, just take peace in the knowing of even the rough times, even the contrasts, there is just so much substance there. And I really honestly feel that the people with the hardest lessons are the most powerful souls. I know that is cheesy, but I know that just deeply within me. And I've come across so many people that have really have a lot of challenges and struggles, and they are beautiful people and they are so strong. And I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, I don't know how you do it. But then I know, my inner being knows, and it resonates and it connects to their inner being. And I'm just like, you're fucking strong. And so this is just honoring being in the being and being connected to the divine, and really honoring these moments where we have this strong connection. And then finally, my cat is decided to lay on these cards. So the final card is silence. And this is the star. Is it the star? It's the star of the moon. Let me check because we have a star out there. Okay, it's the star card in this deck. Oh my goodness. I love when I get duplicate cards from different decks. So that emphasizes the message of the star. 1 second, because she's gonna knock my camera over. Okay, so I'm just like, this just made my day. Okay, so this is the star in this deck, and then we got the star earlier, right? The Aquarius is associated with the star card. And this is the super full moon in Aquarius. Like, you can't make this up. And so the key word here is silence. This is beautiful. As I was just like, and it just works so nicely with this energy. Oops. You know, you can't make this up. And with the magician, what I was going to say too, the magician is considered to be the channel, right? It's traditionally with the card, it's like the guy with his wand up to the sky and then his hand pointing down, right? So it's channeling the divine, and it's channeling through him and manifesting here on earth, right? So the manifestation of the divine embodiment here on earth, that is really significant right now, or just in general, indefinitely. And with this, with this silence card, again, that brings us back to just even the Cancer lunar cycle of the intuition and dreams and connecting to that subtle voice within you that is connected to the divine. And one of the rituals, or something that I brought forth to my ongoing clients for this full moon in Aquarius, I was suggesting to meditate early in the day, like around if you can, around the time of when the full moon peaks, which is at 2:31 p.m. Eastern time. And then when you go to bed at night, before you go to bed, write yourself or write your higher self or your spirit guides or divine a letter of, if you need clarity on something or you're seeking guidance or support or healing, whatever it is, write yourself a letter, put it under your bed, under your pillow with some crystals. And then when you wake up, or set the intention when you go to bed to receive, right? To just open yourself to receiving what is divinely guided at the time. Then when you wake up in the morning or in the middle of the night, because I'm always waking up throughout the middle of the night, if something comes through, journal, just start journaling what comes through. And that just feels like, again, this energy here. And, you know, if nothing comes through, trust that it will come in divine timing, of course, right? So this feels really, really good. And again, just bringing it back to the three main oracle card, or the only oracle cards, the astrology cards for this time, for this moment. We have here, again, the solar eclipse, and this is pointing to that eclipse in Libra. So what I'm really picking up for this, because like I said, there is, with this particular card, the solar eclipse in Libra isn't until October. And I think that this October time is pointing to probably the full manifestation, pointing to this abundance coming through. And that makes sense too, as I spoke of, like, this is the first harvest of 3, you know, observances. And the second one is the equinox. And then the third one is Samhain. And so October 14th is around the time of, you know, between the equinox and the and Halloween, right? And so this feels like, with that solar eclipse too, there is going to be some major reveal, or like a door opening, right? Like a new beginning. And I think I'm going to talk more about this in the cosmic climate. And so that is what I feel this solar eclipse energy is speaking of. This is very more in the present moment of releasing, of sacrifice, of offering. And with the 8th house here, this is speaking of our own psychology, our conscious mind, and coming out of this perspective of lack, not enough, and into the perspective of abundance. I spoke about the infinity portal, a little bit about that and how that is relative to the cross quarter day. So yeah, if you just started to tune in, I would definitely recommend watching the replay because I talk about this particular day and how somehow it corresponds to, it brings in the energy of the Lion's Gate, which, like I said, I'm in observance. I'm open. I've always been open, but there wasn't really any astronomy or astrology at this present time that aligned with the Lion's Gate, right? Until I had this aha moment today in which I realized that astronomically, the cross quarter point of this halfway point, this peak of summer and invitation to the autumn equinox here in the Northern Hemisphere, is astronomically happening on August 7th, right? And it's usually now at this point, modern day, between like August 6th, 5th, 7th, 8th. So there might be something to this. So thank you everyone for watching, and those of you that watched the replay. And yeah, I can't wait to connect with you all on an individual level. And I love hearing your comments. Thanks for your likes. Thanks for chatting here with me. And like I said, I'll have the cosmic climate up here in a bit. And I hope that you all have a beautiful day and a beautiful full moon and week. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Thank you so much. Have a good day.